Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, June 18th, and we are looking at Window Traders market profile of SPY, IWM, and triple Qs. We will recap all three of these charts. Interesting day. M period does what it does at the end. We call L, K, and M the Three Stooges. K, L, and M the Three Stooges. Curly with a K, Larry and Mo, because a lot of times they misbehave, and Mo does it again as he waits till late in the time frame to rip low with a price probe. Incredibly, couple of things. Well, first off, I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day this coming Sunday for all the dads out there. Interesting day in the fact that we have a gap lower that holds, even though there's a small, SPY's is bigger because of the dividend. We have a 13 wide POC. We haven't had a 13 wide POC, I believe. Somebody in the room looked it up for me since October 2nd. So it's been a while since we had a perfect POC. But it's rare to have a gap that holds in a perfect POC, and then we go out with a price probe. Triple Qs, inside day. They took back their trend day from yesterday, but they have an inside day. They have a 12 wide POC. Russell has some issues. Russell goes out. Trying to think if they filled their trend day. It looked like an M period they tried and then failed. I think they have a little bit of single prints left in K, so it looks like they go out with a double distribution day. But more importantly, they're about $6 lower than that 228.10 level we were talking about the other day. That's troublesome. We'll look at that in the charts. As far as SPY and ES, the landscape's changed on the charts a bit. Monthly hasn't, but the weekly is in balance, and more importantly, an outside week down, which is pretty bearish. Now, the last two outside weeks up that we had did not provide any real upside movement, so we'll see how the outside week down does. And the daily is down. We open on a gap today. I didn't do anything right away. I didn't see much to do. I didn't take one long today. I had a very good B and C period. I just shorted. I was long the 419 puts, twice in B, 3 times in C period. So I had very good time frames. Just every time they pushed up, would short, come back down, be taking them off. So they were very nice. I did one in E. I said I'd be out above D's high. Got above D's high, out, lost on that one. Then I did it in G again, shorted. Did it in H again. These were the 419s again. They worked out nice. I could have done that the rest of the day. Could have done it in I, J, K, L, M, you name it. And on the flip side, you could have actually been longing if you want, because they weren't getting much but with each new low, obviously, except in the last literally 2 to 3 minutes in M period. Any low could have been faded right back to POC. So it became a total chop day inside. The bigger picture, though, remember, we had a double distribution day the other day. We never got into that upper distribution. Never did. And today we gapped lower, and we held it, and now we're down here. We're down below the 20 and the 50-day moving average. So things are getting a little dicey for the bulls. We've talked about this. I said I think it would be healthy to finally go down and go test that 403, 404 level, and even more to go wipe out between 393 and 400 to take out a lot of those monthly and weekly gaps and then go into balance. We'll see if that's going to happen. So, destinations for Monday. First one on the upside is the price probe, which is L's low of 415.61. Now, this market is pretty short over the last couple of days, right? From the double distribution day, from yesterday when they couldn't get back into the upper distribution, and now again from today. So, sellers have everything in their corner right now. Let's see if they're going to be able to run with it, because if not, they'll get squeezed again. So right off the bat, you want to see, as a seller, you want to open below L's low. That's the price probe. Then you have the 13 wide POC, which, believe it or not, was lowered in the last 2 minutes of the day from D's high to H's low, 416.46. Then we have the afternoon rally high, G, 417.27. And then today's high, 417.83. filling the gap of 419.32. So SPY has a 149-point gap because of the dividend. ES is a lot smaller. And inside of that gap, incredibly, is that 10-wide POC of 419.16 that has never been hit from June 3rd. It went from an upside destination to a downside. It's back to an upside. That's pretty, see a lot of weird stuff between 13 wide POCs and gaps, and now a POC that just keeps going from one side to the other without getting hit. For the downside, we have today's low of 414.70 in SPY. That is now a weekly low. Then we have 414.45 daily low, 414.10 afternoon pullback low from May 20th. Single prints 413.96 get filled at 70 from May 20th. Another set 413.38 to 26 from May 20th. 412.97 lowest accepted price from May 20th, and 411.67 daily low filling a gap at 411.05, a 62-point gap from May 20th. Please write those down. Now, let's go and break down the charts on all three of these indices. Okay, starting with the Russell. We're going top down. So the monthly, after such a long time, right, they one time framed up, we are now in a 4-month balance. Plain and simple, it's a 4-month balance. You're going to use 207.21 as the balance low, and that's also the balance high, the all-time high. The last 3 months, including this month, have traded inside of it. That's your 4-month balance. So until you either get below that or above it, you play balance rules when you get to the extremes of it. Weekly, back to balance. They were up, back to balance. It's a 4-week balance. Last week's high is the upper end of the balance. 4 weeks ago, low of 219 is the low of it. So again, they closed at 222 and change. That's going to be an important level, that 219 level. Here is the problem. Here is this range from March 22nd. I know you've heard me a million times. It's a $20 range, 228 to 208. We were inside of it 10 weeks. We came out of it last week. We were above it this week for a while, but closed deep inside. So the fact that, yes, I'm using 219 as the low of a 4-week balance, in the bigger picture, the bottom of this balance could be your ultimate destination. First you'd have 211, and then you'd have 208. So very worrisome in the weekly where they got sucked into. And then on the daily, clearly down. They went from balance to down, one-time framing down 4 days below both the 20 and the 50. Now let's go to triple Qs. The monthly, again, a monthly you can call balance or balance, I would call it balance. Yes, we took out last month's high, but we're above it. Look, we were in a 2-month, 3-month balance, and you came out of it to the upside. So again, it's subjective. You can call this balance to up. You could call it up. Right now, you can call it. I'll call the monthly up in triple Qs. It came out of a 2-month balance to the upside. So I'm going to call the monthly up. Weekly, up. One-time framing up. They came out of an inside week 4 weeks ago, and they're one-time framing up 4 weeks. So triple Q is a lot different from Russell, are they not? Up in the monthly, up in the weekly. They made a new all-time high in the pre-market right before the opening today, which is interesting. Now here's the daily. The daily is balance. It's a wide 5-day balance, and they had an inside day. So this should provide a good clue at some point next week when we come, hopefully to Monday, when we come out of the inside day. If we come out of it to the upside, do they go and get the all-time high? Right? You can play balance rules. So you go with it and monitor for continuation, but it's still going to be a balance high, so you'd have to be careful on that. On the flip side, if they come out of it to the downside, you go with a short, because then I'd be looking for the bottom of this day, which is around the 339 level, and if you get below that, the bottom of the balance which is 337.45. So monthly's up, weekly's up, daily is a 5-day balance, and you have an inside day. And then SPY and ES. Now there's a disconnect because of the dividend on the daily. Monthly is up. We're still healthy. This is halfway through the 8th month. We are one time framing up. Still very healthy. Weekly, we went from up back to balance. It's a 4-week balance as far as I'm concerned right now. This week's low is the low of it. This week's high is the high of it. We made a new all-time high. So basically, you see we took out last week's high, but took out the last 3 weeks' lows. So it's a 4-week balance with this week's range being the entire balance. Now, if we take out this week's low at any point, I will automatically go down on the weekly. And if that happens, we will be going and testing that 4.445 level. So right now, and just because we close at the lows doesn't mean we're going to take out the low Monday, but that's something to certainly be aware of. So monthly up, weekly balance, but an outside week down, which is bearish. And then daily is clearly down. We went from up to balance to down. One time framing down 3 days. We're below the 20. We're below the 50. The gap is my main focus. Right now in the daily, your next real target, look at this. They have hold on 1 second. Why don't they have, I apologize here. Oh, here it is, 414.70. Where's the 414.45 low? There it is. So we didn't take this low out yet. Looked like we did. We have this low on the daily. Then we have 411.67 and a small gap that gets filled at 411.05. This is an important level too, the 411 level. Because if you fill that gap and get accepted into this day, well, you're going to go see this double bottom here. So that's how these charts are looking. We had a good week in the trading room. A lot of educating going on along with the trading. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Hope you had a great day trading. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.